Hello, my rosebuds. Welcome to Dion Says Whatever. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday to everybody. Um, I want to break this down about Sydney Star. Now, Tasha had a woman on there that spoke a little bit to the boy's family. Um, the lady said that she has a 12-year-old son and she have two kids, but one is 12. And when you talk to him, you can hear that he's young, right? He's a baby, or But nowadays you cannot, because it's a lot of 12, 13 year olds that voice is deeper, right? And I'm not excusing none of that. But I'm just breaking down what was said and the stuff that's out there. So Sydney, they was checking in the hotel, and I guess the kids were just roaming around. And Sydney lured him into, well, not, I'm not gonna say Lord. She called him, was calling them, telling him to come into the bar because Sydney was sitting at the bar. And then when they was in the elevator, Sydney was asking him, did he have condoms? So that proves that the boy know that they was going up there to have sex allegedly, because they was speaking about condoms. Um, the lady said that she did give him fellatio. Sydney gave the boy fellatio, and she don't know really if he penetrated. She don't know if she was trying to or about to or what have you. But they did some type of kit, I guess, to test, you know, to see if he was penetrated or whatever. So that's smart on the parents' behalf to get that test and not just leave it at she gave him fellatio, because the boy might not have told like if it actually happened, if the penetration, if the sodomy actually happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to break down the age of consent. You have to be 18 years old in Alaska, Arizona, California, Delaware, Florida, Idaho, Kentucky, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin. I think everywhere in the United States should be, well, everywhere, not just the United States, but other countries is different. I believe everybody should be 18 years of up. If you're over 21, consider an adult to date someone that has to be 18 years up and older. That's I wish that was like everywhere, right? But it's not. Now, in Colorado, Illinois, Louisiana, Missouri, New York, Texas, and Wyoming, if you're over the age of 21, they have to be 17 to date, to have intercourse, any type of sodomy, because that's actually, sodomy is actually anything that got to do with sex, intimate stuff, doing stuff, right? So that's 17 years old. Now, everywhere else in the United States, they only have to be 16 years old. Now, I feel like if you 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and older, you should not date nobody that's 16 years old. What do y'all even have in common? Am I right? Grown folks, can we talk? Like everywhere else. And that's a lot of states. Cause you figure that's 22 or 23 states. All the other ones, you gotta be only 16. I mean, you have to be 16 if you're over 21 trying to date them. Now, I spoke in my video that 13 years old is underage. They can't consent to anything. Whether they was he asked Sydney to do it, just allegedly. I'm just putting a scenario out there. Even if he asked Sydney to do it, Sydney should have said no, right? But as the information is coming out, we know Sydney called him to come with her. Now, Sydney, you were wrong. You were dead wrong. And my thing is, I pray and hope that you did not take it any further than fellatio, because of you're gonna be sitting for 25 years to life if they prove everything that is being claimed, the charges, right? Without a reasonable doubt. Without a reasonable doubt. Now, that sickens me to know, just in just in the 20 something states, you only have to be 16. It's so many predatory people out here that prey on the younger the better, right? And that's a sick mindset. I don't care. Women does do it, men do it. And when they say, when Romeo and Juliet, that was like, that means they have to be close in age. If they're under the age of 21, they have to be close in age. It can't be an 18-year-old and a 12-year-old, an 18-year-old and you know what I'm saying, and a 13-year-old. It can't be that. They have to be, say, like 14 and 13, 14 and 14, like that. It has to be close in age. It cannot be a big range, like 18 and 12, 18 and 13. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of certain states use that Romeo Juliet 14 is as a threshold. You know what I'm saying? Them laws reduce penalties. You know what I'm saying? Or permit activity if a minor is at least 14 and a partner close to age, usually within 2 to 4 years, in between the people, the woman and the man, or the man and the woman. Like the baseline of consent is age 14 when y'all both are under 21. Now it varies in charges depending on the act, um and it depends on the what is the word I'm looking for, the magnitude of how you got it. Like if you great, that's totally different. You know what I'm saying? If you were coerced, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to you having a conversation with a person and y'all both say, okay, let's go. But the older person should know. You know what I'm saying? Not to even want to cross that line, because what you do in the dark is always gonna come into the light, no matter what. And there's so many of these older gross men that look at these young girl bodies because they're homegrown. A lot of them that's young, they coming out with bodies like they just got surgery or something, and they natural. But I tell you, if you before you invite that person with you, have a conversation out in public, right? You can tell their mindset, you can tell their verbiage most of the time, in how they communicate. If you grown, you communicate different a lot of the times. Some people don't because they got a childish mindset. You know what I'm saying? Or they mind is not broadened enough. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. And I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just trying to give the different narratives of Things you can look out for and listen for when you speaking to somebody that's underage to oppose to someone that's you would think is grown, like more so are grown. Even in your teenage years, 18, 12, that's a big difference in conversation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't vet each other out because there's all this lust out here, especially these older men that have kids. These people, these girls' age, and you looking at these young girls. What you think? Who you think looking at your daughters, and vice versa? If these older women looking at your sons, what, like what? Looking at boys. If y'all looking at young boys, what you think? If you got sons, these other women that's predatorial, looking at your son. See, people don't get it until the rabbit has the gun. You know what I'm saying? Have to pow pow. We have to be the people that's grown and supposed to be grown need to have a grown mindset and think logically. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all gonna hem yourself up where y'all gonna be sitting in prison or underground somewhere because somebody family member then deleted you. Because I kid you not. Yeah, that would be going down if it was mine. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? And I know, people say that but no. You can't tell somebody how to fight back when you hurting somebody's child. You cannot. You can't tell somebody, oh, don't do nothing. That's the hardest thing for you not to do something. Or sit on your hands or twiddle your thumbs waiting for the law. No, no. See, it's easier to do that. I don't advise none of that because I don't want nobody, getting in trouble because of it. But we have to think smart and logical, grown ups. And we are kids. You understand? Because you go on vacation, I think Conscious TV said that. If just because you go on vacation, you can't just lollygag. You don't have a day off. Them still underage kids, and you still have to watch them. Because we see on TV, we see people when we go to the beaches and stuff. They just be lounging in the sand or on the chairs, and their kids just be at the beach, like in the water and roaming the sand and all of that. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Because people like Sydney Star is watching, and other predatory people are watching and praying. Only if, right? So we got to keep our eyes on our kids, and we have to be mindful in wherever you at in any setting that you are at. It could be at a restaurant, and your child go to the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? Just easy as that, quick. And now they chitter chatting up again about Blueface and Superior. I don't like that scenario because it's looking cringe. It's looking cringe. Yes, Nevaeh rubbed his ears because he's hyper. I get that, but that Blue, you should not be rubbing his ears. Let his mom do that. You are not his father. I think you crossing lines and you say you're his stepdad. No, but okay, let you go off. But you still can't do what you would do with your own son to Superior because that is somebody else's son, and you have a father, and all the picking up and touching and rubbing and doing all that is a little too much now. It's cute with the walkie talkies and you know what I'm saying, all that stuff, but it's just getting weird. And I think you really need to listen to what people are saying and fall back some because you're doing too much. And I don't care. Blue is like the type that will try to make a point like to keep doing it to troll or to keep doing it because y'all talking about it or saying it. That's not cute, Blue, and that's not what you should do. You should actually take heed because ever if, God forbid, it come out that somebody had did anything to Superior, you're gonna be the first one they look at. Even if it wasn't you, you're still gonna be the first one they look at. So I really hope somehow, some way, somebody get you that message that I just said. If somebody, God forbid, done something to Superior and it ever come out, even if you did not do it, Blue, Jonathan, they're gonna look at you first because what they see or what we see on this internet. Too close for comfort, my dude. Somebody really need to like in his chat say it a couple times. So I don't know, somehow, some way, because that's a message that he needs to get if he is not actually doing anything. And I don't know. It's allegedly is what the streets is talking. It got quiet a little bit, but then it got back louder because he's doing more and more and more, and it's being getting cringy now. He's doing too much touching now and tickling and this and that. People that has been violated, we know the signs. We know what we see. We know what we feel when we see it. When we see the interaction between Superior and Blueface. Period. Period. And people is calling it out, and though they should be bring awareness to it and attention to it, and not let it slide like we do Krishan with Junior. That's a whole nother story. Humiliating her son on stream, man, that's a whole nother story. But yes, so only in like when because they're from Georgia, so in Georgia, 13 is not the age of consent. Sorry, sorry. So Sydney, I don't know. I don't know if she's out on like on bond or what. I'm not sure if that's what Conscious said, but at anyway, um, yeah, I just like it shouldn't have went down. Period. None of that interaction should have ever went down. Sydney, stop being so thirsty for some ick. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say because it's just too sick and sick. So if anybody never told you they love you, Dion saying it. I love you, you, and you. And I will see y'all on the next Dion Says Whatever. Please drop down in the comment section and give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. What do you think about the age consent in different states? Do you think it should be over 18 everywhere in the United States? Um, yeah, just drop down and leave me chit chat. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep this conversation going because yeah, we watching it in real time with Superior and Blueface little stuff, right? And then there's other stuff like on TikTok you see, and it's like the messages people leave under people comments. Yeah, we see all of that. We see it all. So that's why the conversation need to be talked about. So until next time, I'll see y'all on the next Dion Says Whatever. Bye, Rosebuds.